Human capital. What is human capital? Welcome to the Troutwood podcast, episode 6, where we're going to have a special spotlight on in ways you can invest in yourself.
Human capital, investing in ourselves is the topic, like Jay mentioned. Typically, we talk about investing actual dollars, but you may notice that today we're in a different location than usual. We're not filming at Carnegie Mellon, and we're not at one of our local high schools. You may also notice that Jay and I are further apart than we typically sit, and at the end of the podcast, we won't be giving each other a fist bump. To date this podcast, it's May 6, 2020. I'll miss the fist bump too. It's May 6, 2020, and we are in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis, which mandates 6-foot distances. Jay and I have been wearing our masks. As we prepared for this, we took them off for the filming. What you can't see is that we have a skeleton crew. Our team at Troutwood is not here helping with the podcast as is usual. Trust that everything is safe behind the scenes. We are at a market 13 miles north of Pittsburgh. We had planned to actually film out in one of the fields because COVID-19 has shined a spotlight on the very important work that so many people on the front lines of the food industry, the shipping industry, the medical field, so many more, and it has shined that light rightfully so. So we had this great panoramic overlooking the fields in Swergle's Market. Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate, and it's raining today.
It's fine inside. We got the nice setup. We'll be good.
It's a good setup, but we do want to pass along a very sincere thank you to everyone on the front lines of COVID.
Thank you, guys.
Jay, I'm not a medical professional, and when I read the news right now, I feel nervous and uncertain because I don't understand everything I read about the coronavirus and the medical advancements we're making.
Only natural. I feel the same way when I watch the news.
And there's probably a parallel we can make to that with our typical conversations about money and investing, because I imagine the feeling is the same when we're talking to people who are maybe intimidated or fearful about this topic. That's the only time we're going to say money today. We're talking about ways to invest in ourselves. Why does this matter right now in the midst of these times? Jay, just today, it's Thursday, coincidentally, and there are now 33.5 million unemployed Americans.
Yeah, 33.5 million in unemployment. That's a huge number.
It's a really big number. There is a correlation, and it's one of the hardest things to prepare for. The times when jobs are lost are the times where the last thing we're thinking about is our investment portfolio, retirement plan. We're thinking about putting food on the table.
Yeah. You're thinking about the world at that point because you don't necessarily know what's happening. So you're just like, oh, everyone has a mask on. You have to stay apart. People are getting sick or dying. Like you said, there's a huge uncertainty. And with that, everything else falls by the wayside when confronted with death.
But we still have 24 hours
and
7 days a week. And that's why we're going to talk about human capital. Particularly for our target audience, Jay, high school seniors, college seniors. It's May, it's graduation season. Hey, big news. Remotely give Jay Morrison a round of applause. He's got one final left, and he's a graduate.
Final. Yeah.
And full-time at Troutwood. Congratulations, sincerely, Jay.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Jane. It means a lot.
Is it surreal, senior year, and your study at home, online teaching?
It's kind of wild, but I don't mind it. I mean, it has its perks, and then it has its downfalls. I mean, it would have been nice to be back up there with like some clubs that I was like involved in, because I held a few leadership positions, and it was just cool being around everyone, the social aspect of school, and like it being the last semester. But when it's all said and done, life goes on, and I'll meet a lot of people and have more fun in life. So.
And you're not alone.
Yeah.
Every college student, every high school, I guess I shouldn't say every high school, but every college student and most high school students in America right now are at home. And that's a tough way to end your high school career. It's a tough way to end your college career.
But we all understand what's going on, so it's not like,
Absolutely.
It's somewhat of a bummer, but at the same time, it's like everyone's in the house and it's a serious matter, so it's like, all right, this is life we're trying to see what's going on now.
And let's frame it like an opportunity. I was talking with our chief strategist, Jeff Davidek, earlier this week, and he brought to my attention that over half of Fortune 500 companies were founded in periods of crisis.
Half of them?
Half of them. Crisis creates opportunity.
Creates opportunity.
Scary when you're in the moment,
Yeah.
but it sparks innovation. And I find that exciting to think about what's possible. So what can we do? We're sitting at home. I teach at 2 of our local universities. It's a very difficult way to teach, but we still have time in the day. How can we use it to better ourselves? When it comes to human capital, when it comes to investing in ourselves, let's look at 3 categories: education, experience, and health, our general well-being. And we're not going to focus on this from the corporate perspective. So when a company hires an individual, called a recent college graduate, they tend to train a specific skill set for a specific need. Maybe, Jay, you and I work at a hammer shop and I need someone who can attach the hammer. That's a specific skill that we would train someone for.
Right.
We as individuals, though, tend not to think quite so specifically. We think, how can we broaden our skill set? How can we better our whole well-being? We're going to dive into that because I think we live a really interesting time.
Yeah.
I'm going to make maybe a prediction that the crisis of COVID-19, which has brought the whole world together, fighting a common enemy, I find that really inspiring.
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going to come of that, but it's the first time the whole world has come together against a single enemy. My speculation and prediction is that we are going to spark almost similar to the industrial age, but a technology and healthcare revolution, where we advance so many great technologies. Education, which let's call education.
Education is already being advanced, like.
Well, Zoom. Did you know what Zoom was in the fall semester?
No, I didn't know what Zoom was, but I mean, it's like similar to FaceTime and some other things. There was something like way back when, a couple of years back, it was called Uvu, but it was something like Zoom. But Zoom is more. I like Zoom. Zoom's cool.
And are you doing every class on Zoom here in the spring?
Yeah, I'm doing a couple. Some professors don't use the technology, but most of them do.
So you learned a skill set to adapt to a time. If education is the big bubble that we're going to focus on, that human capital, when we're young, and human capital is this great potential we have over our working career, every piece of education we gain makes us better. We're gaining a skill set and a tool that we can apply and we can use. To that kind of audacious prediction I made, Jay, imagine, so the graduating high school class of 2020 is roughly 3 million seniors, some of whom are brilliant. All of whom are brilliant. Let me take that back. They are going to create incredible ideas to adapt to this time.
Yeah.
But what if, let's step back, because what if we were suffering COVID-19, 25, 30, 45 years ago before the technology we have now? It would be harder to learn at home.
Yeah.
Now, many of our kids you can Zoom. Our elementary school kids, a large percentage of iPads and technology they can use. Not all, unfortunately.
People consume a lot of media and stuff off their phones anyways, or laptops if they have them. So, learning from home is just as quick and easy as just picking up your phone. There's so many apps out there that you can learn from. Like, it's limitless.
It's limitless, and that's a new paradigm. This generation right now that just unfortunately got a really unlucky hand with COVID-19 in terms of not being able to be with friends and classmates at school, also got handed an opportunity because education is limitless. It's not just what you learn from the start of the school bell to the end of the school bell or in the 4 years of college. We have opportunities to educate ourselves after the bell.
Right. I like that.
We never had them before though, right, Jay?
Yeah, no, we haven't. There's a lot of people who follow this notion. They feel like they have to go to a college or be in school to learn. Like, no, there's a huge percentage of learning that takes place outside of school. Learning in this very moment, or maybe one day if you have kids, even if you don't have kids, and you get a new place and you're on your own, you're learning different skills. Maybe you want to buy, it's your first time buying a car. You're learning new skills out there in the real world that are different from a classroom setting. I look at a classroom setting like, yeah, I'm about to receive my undergraduate degree. At the same time, it doesn't just, it's not like I completed life and it's the end all be all. Like, you know, there's still more work to be done after that. You know, life is, learning is supposed to be exciting. Learning is life. You know?
Yep. But when it's exciting, when it's fun, it's not learning.
Yeah.
Right? You stay up all night. I remember an analogy, not quite learning, but the Harry Potter books, years ago now, but when the Harry Potter would come out, I included, we would stay up all night and read the whole book. You couldn't put it down.
You read Harry Potter? You read all the
You
Harry
would
Potter books?
not go to bed because you had to finish it before anyone talked about it. When you love something, call it learning, the same thing happens. I see some of the tools that are available for us to invest in ourselves now that are free, that are online, and that are exciting. Coding, programming. Incredible what you can learn out of the classroom. Thinking to, because in addition to this large unemployment number, one thing we've seen firsthand, having been based out of Carnegie Mellon, was interns losing their summer internships. Not surprising. So we also have college students who had summer plans and now don't have those summer plans.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. I have a lot of friends who've been affected by that. And
what are your friends doing that are affected? Are they looking for other positions? Are they down? What's their emotion?
They're just actively like looking. I mean, they understand what's going on right now, so they're just working jobs that they can, you know?
I love that because it's...
Because there's still opportunity out there, just like Swarvels. You know, you have people helping other people out there in the world, you know?
Yep.
There's always work out there. It might
if
not
there
be the
isn't an
job you
opportunity,
want.
create the opportunity.
And it might not always be the job you want or the ideal job you envision yourself being in at the moment, but think of it as another building block to your life. It builds character. You're going to get more experience. You're going to create new relationships. You know, not saying you're always going to be in that job or position for the rest of your life, but it could just be a season in your life. You know,
I'm gonna deliver a message for this season that we're in right now. For anyone who might have lost an internship or a summer job or a job, just do something. Just do something. Take the first step. And if that something isn't getting an internship or a job, learn a new skill.
I think that's big. Learning a new skill during this time, like people who are at home. I mean, I know people have other interests, maybe playing a video game or whatever other interest you may have out there. But learning a new skill, like regardless of what it is very valuable. And especially if you plan on going into a career where it could complement, or it could help bring even more value to a job opportunity or position that you may see yourself in. Or maybe one day you might be a business owner, like how Gene was saying. Chaos creates opportunity. Like you said, half of the Fortune 500 companies have been created in turmoil, in times of despair.
Because it's those times that show us needs we've not yet met as a society.
That's all businesses are, needs. They fulfill needs that
the good ones.
The good ones.
They delight their customers and they solve problems. I'm curious, Jay, I wanted to ask, what's a skill set that you are either trying to gain in this time or would be curious to add to your repertoire?
I'm gonna be real, there's a couple. I'm always trying to increase my business acumen. But aside from that, it's more on like creative and the production side. I wanna learn After Effects. I wanna get even better with Photoshop. I mean, I use it now, but even though I'm not in school for Photoshop, that's something I do on the side, so I have to kind of manage my time. And also, what's the third one I have? Oh, I have like a studio. I use Pro Tools. It's like audio engineering, like it's like producing music or video production, stuff like that. I like to familiarize myself. Those are just like side skills as far as like expression.
So we said earlier,
that's what we're doing now. We're filming a podcast. I want to be able to increase the value of the company, and I just want to increase the value of it. You know, I see areas where things can be improved in the world, and I just want to be able to be at my best when those opportunities present themselves. So that's it. I know that's a long,
I love it. What we have now is an opportunity. I love it. I've seen your music too, which I noticed you didn't say. Maybe we'll talk about another time.
Yeah.
For me, I would be a farmer, but maybe that's just because we're sitting here at Swergles right now. I would love to hop on a tractor. Education outside of the classroom, there are a lot of ways to gain knowledge right now. We're living in unprecedented time. And we could list resources, and if we listed Khan Academy, iTunes University, Next Gen Personal Finance, we could list them, and we would just be a needle in a haystack because there's so many incredible resources.
There's so many out there. And like we talked about before, sometimes people don't know what they're looking for.
Yep.
You know?
And just do something. So I love the outdoors. I'll give you an analogy for that. I have, I love to fish. I love to, my second daughter just turned 8 2 weeks ago now. And on her birthday, we always go trout fishing. We didn't catch any trout this year. I have this thing when I'm on a stream, I'm fishing or just hiking in the woods, I'm always curious what's around the bend. And you don't know until you get there. And the analogy is, if you're down right now, if you lost that internship, you're thinking, this can't get worse, just take the first step towards the bend. Because you won't know what's around there until you actually get there. So we hit the education. Experience comes with time. And notice, we haven't said college at all in this conversation. We're talking about things that either college students or non-college students could be doing to better themselves right now. The third that we haven't touched, health.
Health is wealth. Health is wealth. I'm telling you, because once you lose your health, you can get it, in some areas you can get it back. Other times you can't. So health is very important. Like, everyone should be taking care of their health 24/7.
Mental and physical both.
Mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. There's a lot of ways you could improve and increase your health.
Make that time for yourself. We had the pastor at our church had to the spiritual comment, gave a very impassioned sermon where he said, so many of us sit on the couch praying, and we sit on the couch wondering when something's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen until you get off the couch.
Execution is king. Execution.
It was so powerful. Well said. That's the time we're in right now. Take the time for yourself. Be healthy, be well, pursue education, and be audacious enough to change the world right now. That's what COVID will create. It will create opportunities that 6 months ago we naively didn't even know we needed. When we look at these 3.2 million high school seniors that are a month away from entering the real world, either through college or through their careers, I like to single Troutwood's mission and our goal. Looking at those millions of students, what if we can be the inspiration that sparks them to financial independence and lets them pursue their dreams? Because unfortunately right now, not everyone can pursue their dreams.
Yeah.
We want to open that door. We want to show everyone that if you take the first step, the second one is going to follow, but you got to take the first one.
Always remember why you do what you do. Have a passion. Even if you don't have your dream at the moment, if you hang on to that passion long enough, it could be 5, maybe 10 years down the road. Eventually, that thought is power, and that's gonna make something happen. That's gonna make something happen for yourself. And not only does it consist of having that thought and hanging on to that passion, It's more so being intentional, and executing, taking action. Something very small. Whatever you can do, just keep moving. Don't stop.
Yeah, keep the inertia. You know, we could maybe the comment section is a good place because we've shared some ideas, but maybe listeners have others. Throw them in the comment section. Drop us an email. Let us know ways that we can share. Invest in yourself. Lots of good will come when we come on the other side.
Yeah.
Of this very difficult time.
I'd like to see what resources you guys are using. What do you find that's helpful, maybe impactful as far as inspirational, motivational, or educational, things that do a great job at explaining or educating you. Thank you guys for tuning in to watch episode 6. Let us know the things you're doing to invest in yourself during this turbulent time.
Just wrapped up filming a travel podcast here at Swergos, and we wanted to pass along a very sincere thank you to Swergos Market, to the family. I see firsthand how hard they and their team here at Swergos is working day in and day out. The lines each afternoon, providing food for families here in Pittsburgh. And thank you for the great work you're doing.